So guys, I'm going to be using this beautiful African print here to make this kimono jacket. For this I have 2 yards here. If you have 3 yards of fabric, it's way better. So it's better to have 3 yards of fabric if you are on a bigger side. So now I'm going to be drafting on the actual fabric. So what I want to go ahead and do is to open up this fabric into 2 like this, and I am going to fold it. So this is how it's opened, like this. Open everything out, and I'm going to make a first fold. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm folding it into 2 equal halves. I told you guys before that I have 2 yards, so I'm going to be using the whole 2 yards to actually make this. So I'm folding this into 2 equal halves like this, as you can see. So once you're done making that fold, you're going to turn it over to this side here, this folded side here, and we're going to fold it again into 2. So altogether that will make it a total fold in 4 places. So I'll fold it again into 2 like this. Make sure to do the same thing you're seeing me doing here, whether you're working with 3 yards of fabric or 2 yards. If you're working with 2 yards of fabric, just use the whole fabric, because 2 yards of fabric will just give you a very short kimono, which is what you're going to be seeing right here. So now from the folded end in the middle here, I am going to take the neck measurement. So we're going to be using the back neckline. So from the top here, I will come down by 1.5 inch for the neck depth, and then I'll go in by 3 inches. So go ahead and do the same thing. Now I will just connect a curve to give me a round neckline. So once you've done this, the next thing you want to do is you're going to come down from the shoulder down to your bust point. For me, my bust point is 10 inches. Make a mark there and go ahead and draw a straight line across. So now once you've done that, the next thing you want to do is on this bust line that we just got, from the middle of your fabric, you're going to come in by your bust measurement divided by 4 and make a mark. Now after making that mark, you're going to add some allowances for ease, because the kimono jacket is usually very free. Depends on how free you want yours to be. You can add 2 inches, you can add 2.5 inches, you can add 3 inches. For me, I added extra 3 inches to my actual measurements. Okay, so now the next thing you want to do is you're going to measure your round sleeve measurement from the top of this fabric down towards the bust line. So for me, mine is 17, and that divided by 2, I marked it here. Now when you're actually taking this measurement on your body, make sure it's not tight. It has to be free, because this fabric is a free one. So after making that point, I went ahead to curve it to meet my bust points that I had earlier. Okay, so now I'm going to take this same measurement all the way down to the end of my fabric. So I'm just going to measure take the measurement I had from the bust point all the way to the end of the fabric, and I'm just going to connect all these points with a line. So now once you're through with that, we're just going to go ahead and cut the neckline and also the sides. So guys, after cutting it out, you're going to have it looking like this. Now if you open it up, you see that it actually looks like a normal gown, a free gown with sleeves. So now from the neck here, I am going to try and get the middle. So I will pick one side. So you can see this is the front and the back. When you actually cut it together, you understand what I mean. The front and the back are here, but the neckline for the front is going to be different for what we have at the back. So I'm folding one part of this fabric here, this material here, as you can see. Go ahead and fold one part very properly. Ensure that no side is longer than the other, because that will actually give you a lot of issue. Just make sure everything is well arranged, and once you're through with that, you're going to connect a V neckline for the front. So now this one is not something that you really have to measure or anything like that. Just from the top of the neckline here, I'm just going to connect a V down to wherever it goes out of my fabric. Okay, so I connected a V all the way to where it came out of my fabric like this, as you can see, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out. So this is going to be the neckline for the front. So when you cut it out, when you cut it to where it ends at the fabric, I'm just going to now open up the rest parts like this until it gets to the end. So now we've opened up the front pattern into two. So now once you've arranged it front and back, you're going to see that the front has an opening now here. Now the first thing you want to go ahead and do is to work on the sleeve area. So you're going to open the sleeve up like this from the back, and you're going to fold it in by about 1 inch like this. You'll go ahead and stitch this area down and do the same thing for the other sleeve as well. So guys, I've stitched it down now, and I've gone ahead to iron it out as well, so you can see how it looks here. So now the next thing you want to do is you're going to turn it over to the wrong side, just like you see me doing like this. Turn everything over to the wrong side, align the shoulder. If you actually iron it out, you're going to see that the shoulder will actually have a gaiter now. Okay, so align the shoulders like this, ensure everything is staying properly, and go ahead and stitch down the side. So I'll do this for this side and also align the other side as well and stitch down the side. So guys, after stitching down the sides, I obviously went ahead to turn it over to the right side and iron it out. So this is what it looks like. Now for this opening we have in front, we're going to, one thing I like to do is I like to take away some inches away from it so that it has a curve all the way from the end, so that the opening starts from the end. So I'm just cutting away from it until it meets the curve perfectly like this. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other side as well. Just go ahead and cut away from it until, cut about 1 inch away until it meets the curve perfectly. So now we have an opening all the way from the top to the end of the front. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish up this front part, and what I'm going to be using to do that is a band. So now when it comes to this band, you can actually decide to play around with it. You can decide to use a black band, so that will give it a different fitting. So this band is going to be placed around the neckline all the way from the end round all the way through to the shoulder. As you can see, I'm taking the measurement around this area, measure it all the way around, all the way through the shoulder, and then back to the other side of the front. So I have a full tape. It's usually very long, so you have a full tape. For me now, I have a full tape and then definitely some inches. So for where that full tape stopped, I will go ahead and measure all the way to the end. So now guys, this is the measurement I'm going to use for the length of my band. Now for the width of the band, you are going to use 4 inches. So what I have here is 4 inches, and then the length is going to be the length we just took around the neckline. So now guys, I'm going to fold my band into 2 and place it from one end of the front pattern, and I'm going to sew it all the way around the neckline through to the back like this, and all the way to the end of the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and be right back. So guys, after stitching the band around the neckline, this is what it looks like. I hope that you guys can actually see it, because everything is just the same fabric here, but it's actually quite visible. So you can see it all the way around here. You can see where I made the stitch here. So now after doing this, the last thing I went ahead to do was to fold the end of this jacket, and that is basically all for this. Actually, that's just all. That's the final look of this. So yeah, that's basically how simple it is to make this kimono jacket. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.